Hello, Bull family. Um, are the Chargers good was fake news, huh? Oh, so it's pretty hard when they lose so bad, man. I tell you, here's what I learned: don't watch Jim Harbaugh after the Chargers get their butts whipped like that because it will just irritate you. I understand he's trying to keep everything positive and beat people up, but he just I watch the interview, the press conference, and he's like, "Well, what do you think of your defense? Defense played really bad." And what does he say? He goes, "Well, they kept fighting. They have a lot of valor, and they kept fighting." And that's what they ask every time they ask him a question about how bad the play was. The O line was terrible. Again, Bradley Bozeman is the worst center in the NFL. Terrible. It's like, and so, but what does he say? Well, they have a lot of valor. They kept fighting. That's what I say. They keep fighting. Yeah, they kept fighting and they're laying on the ground bleeding. And they when you fight, you're supposed to win. In a fight. I mean, I don't fight. I've only been in four lives in my life. Physical fights. I'm 2-2, by the way. But when you get in a fight, the point of playing football is to win the game. You play to win the game. So I've learned that I'm not ever going to watch him unless they win, because I love him. I love his attitude, and I'm sure in private he might tell those guys, "You are really messed up right now, brother." But in public, he's never going to call out the team, so that's fine. Just quit asking him the questions then, because you might as well just go run up and hit your head on a wall. So how are they really fake? Are they really bad? So here's how it is too. The thing you'll see if you watch any like ESPN or NFL Network or any of that stuff is those guys are just in the moment. Whatever happens in the moment. Like all of a sudden, Daniel Jones and the Colts are the best team of football. He's the best quarterback. They're the best team, because they're 6-1 and they're the best team right now. But that could all change in a week or two. I'm still not a believer in that. But here's the thing that they have that we don't have: a really good offensive line. If you can block for Justin Herbert that way, he will be the MVP 100%. Nobody seems to pay attention to this. We've got our fourth, fifth, and sixth string guys out there trying to block for Herbert, and So let's start with the offense real quick. So how did Herbert play? Well, he could have had a better day. But here's the thing: without Justin Herbert, you don't even score 24 points. You score like 3 points. He still makes the plays. He's still they're still depending on him. Here, what's the plan? Craig Roman, what's the plan? Well, the plan is we don't have anybody to block, so you just run around and try to throw the ball to somebody. That's what it looks like, right? And it's terrible. And I tell you what, our blocking is terrible. Alt's out still, and our other tackles out. So we've got guys in there that shouldn't be playing in the NFL for sure, right? And so pressured 48 times or whatever it is, it's terrible, right? Couldn't even run the football the way the game went. There's no way we didn't get a chance to do that, right? And but maybe they got away from it too soon. I don't know. The good news is I didn't have to watch the whole game because for some reason my new phone it popped up the score on a little app that I didn't even know. So I already knew that we were getting our butts wiped. So I just kind of watched the game quietly, and I didn't have to suffer through it because I already figured we were going to lose, and we did. What about the defense, though? What about our vaulted defense? That everybody kept saying Jesse Minter. Oh, he's a genius. He's the best. He's definitely going to be a head coach. First three games, and then all of a sudden the defense is not there. They're just not there. They're gashed. They're getting gashed. 3 games really. Really, 4 games we got gashed because people can run at will, and even Derwin James didn't have a very good game, and Deion Henley are wonderful. The first 3 games, Deion Henley was like a superstar. This guy's going to be all pro. He's amazing. Look at him. He's there. We got him. And the last 4 games, not so much. So I don't know what's going on with that. I know our Khalil Mack only played like 12 snaps or something, so he's not all the way back. On the O line, Makai Becton, he's been playing hurt. He was coming in and out of the game. I did see that. Um, if him and Zion play the way they're capable, and it all supposed to come back, and our other guy, our other tackles come back next week, even with Bozeman in there, we should be fine. We should be much, and Marion Hampton will be back in a week or two, and our offense, I think, will be actually our offense, except for that one red zone interception. Our offense should be fine. But what about the defense? That's the big question. So we'll see. They still have the horses. Like I say, if Khalil Mack comes back, I know our interior line has some injuries in there. So we just have to wait and see. It's been worse. Do you guys remember last year when Tampa Bay just beat the snot out of us, and everybody said it's all over, and then they won like 4 games in a row or something, and then they made it to the playoffs. So it's not over, guys. One more thing too, real quick. We were almost still in first place. So I switched over. I was watching live action on my app over here in the Philippines. So I was watching the game, and then I switched over at the end and see what are the Broncos doing. Oh, look, they're in the fourth quarter, a minute to go. So I watched the last part of that game, and the Broncos should have lost that game. Oh my gosh! And Jackson Dart, he's not that good, man. He missed like 3 or 4 passes at the end of that game. They should have been touchdowns. He underthrew, he overthrew, and then they got a bogus. It was a bogus penalty against Denver. I'll be honest with you, it was a bogus penalty. But they got a first and goal. They get the touchdown. The guy misses the extra point. So the Broncos won by 1 point. But for a minute there, 30 seconds to go, they make the touchdown. I'm like, we're in first place. And then that lasted for just a few seconds. So we're in second place right now. We're tied with Kansas City. We're actually ahead of Kansas City because we beat them. And it's not all is not lost, but it sure looks sad. It sure looks dim right now. So we'll see what Jesse Minter's made of. We'll see what that defense is made of. But I have a hard time believing it's all his fault. I have a hard time believing there's not more that we don't know, understand what's going on and the injuries. And there's something missing there that needs to click back into where it was before. And I think it will, and I think it can. And I think that the Colts are not as good as everybody thinks. We'll see. At the end of the day, I sure hope we get to play him again. Oh, here's the worst part. I'll close with this. Here's the worst part of the whole thing. I can't remember the guy's name. A defensive lineman that plays for the Colts with their best pass rusher. He's on the local radio up there in Indianapolis, and he's trash talking Justin Herbert. Oh, he's really not that good. Baker Mayfield's better. I'm not scared of him. I'd rather play anybody. Blah blah blah. And then you're like, yeah, well, we'll see. And then he proceeds to trash us because we have no blockers. So it's kind of like picking on the little kid, and then you think you're great because we have nobody blocking. So hopefully we get to play them boys again. Hopefully we get to play them boys again. A little payback, brother. So don't give up. Don't give up, guys. Just don't give up. It's not over yet. We still got a long way to go. Da 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 da. Charge.